That I have been resisting the urge to do is a lens review because I honestly am a bit tired of seeing lens reviews online. However, this one is a little bit special. Early last month I picked up a native Leica lens, and it is the 50mm summicron lens. Honestly, I was not expecting to enjoy it this much and to find the results this pleasing. So here's a little bit of my thoughts. The story behind this is I traded in my old M4 body for store credit to kind of cash in on the item that I already had and pick up a different lens. I didn't want to mess around with Facebook Marketplace or anything like that because frankly, no one wants to do that anymore. I do have plans to stay in the Leica M system for a considerable period. At the moment, it's just the M6. I am already feeling like I want to make a digital switch given the state of film photography. You can see my previous video for my thoughts on that. So anyway, I was keen to invest. I thought maybe I could pick up like the summicron 28mm, but that was going to be way out of my budget and way out of my price range for the kind of work that I use it for. So the Voigtlander is still good for me. I wanted to put some real miles on this lens before making any sort of thoughts or conclusive opinions on what I think this lens is good for, bad for, whatever. And I would say that I have done that to an extent that I am happy with. I've used it over various situations and occasions. I've taken it on street photography, I've taken it to a wedding, I've taken it to a portrait shoot. And so those are kind of the three pillars that I work in and would see myself using a lens like this. As you might know from my other videos, that the 28mm focal length and the 50mm are kind of my favorites and my go-tos for most work, whether it's street fashion or portrait / wedding sort of situations. So this was a no-brainer for me to pick up a prime lens for the Leica in the 50mm. So what I'm going to do is just take you through some of these sample images of my favorites, and I'll just pop those up on the screen for you and we'll talk about them as we go. I don't know if I'm focused or not using a manual focus lens. I want to talk about this one just for a quick second. This one is probably one of the first images that I put eyes on when I had these rolls of color film developed and sent back to me. And I just was blown away by the detail, the sharpness, and the contrast of these images just straight off the lab scans. Really impressed, really happy. I can definitely see why they have the price tag on it that it does. And it only gets better from here. Aside from being a nice moment, I'm just very happy with this image. I like the composition. The watercolors came out really nicely. The skin tones looked lovely. And I guess that's just Kodak if you could get any these days. One thing I want to touch on here is with this soccer ball, this one with the girl kicking the soccer ball. As you can see, this image is a little bit soft, and that is because I found it a little bit difficult to get critical focus quickly without the lens tab on it. So this summicron lens does not have a lens tab on it, so you have to turn it, I guess. You have to turn the lens physically like you would turn the aperture ring. And so it's not as quick to focus, and maybe that is why it's not as accurate for me sometimes. But again, zooming in on this one, the detail you can see in her top there and in the hair, the contrast is so nice. just zooming right in on this one at the beach, just seeing so much detail, so much sharpness, even way back at the end there. People right out on the waves. It's so good. So I'll move on to a couple of more staged portrait shots. I took a couple of these on a wedding day and on a fashion editorial that I did last month, and so we'll just go through some of those now. These wedding ones that I have in here are on Kodak Gold, I believe. The other ones are Portrait 400. So we'll just have a quick look. They are going to differ a little bit in terms of color. So again, yeah, I'm probably missing focus a little bit because of that lens tab, and because we're working quite quickly on a wedding day, I am going to miss focus a little bit without that lens tab. Still pretty sharp, pretty happy with it for a portrait. I think using a 200 speed film stock indoors as well might have thrown me a little bit. So I was maybe shooting wide open, and maybe I just couldn't quite get critical focus on a shallow depth of field. This one's quite nice. Yeah, we're really getting into some nice detailing here. Zooming in on her dress there, and even on the face there, it's quite sharp as well. And this is probably wide open. Yeah. Again, some of those my favorite ones now from that style of fashion shoot that I was talking about. Zooming in on these ones are unbelievable. I am so impressed with how sharp, how detailed, how contrasty and natural these images look. And of course that has a bit to do with everyone contributing on the day, having a makeup artist, a stylist, and having great light to work with. Yeah, I honestly love these, possibly more than the digital photos that I took. These were kind of just in between for fun. Someone has said in the past that it could be, you probably could mistake Leica photos for medium format. I didn't really understand that until looking at some of these photos, like this one here. The depth of field on it, the sharpness in the eye, the detail, all her freckles are there. I can kind of get behind the sentiment that maybe Leica does look a little bit like medium format. Not a whole lot. I would not say anywhere near 6x7 or anything, maybe 645. Cropped a little bit, but I would say very, very impressive, sharp results. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on this lens, which has a high price tag, but I would say it is high price, high reward in this situation. I'm really looking forward to getting a lens tab on there and being way faster with this. And I'm very much looking forward to trying this out on a digital camera, on a digital Leica at some point. And as always, I'm very grateful for you tuning in, watching this video, and any other videos that you might have watched of mine along the way. This is really just for fun. I'm not doing this full time or anything, so it's really just going to be when I can do it, when I have time, when I have something to talk about. And I really hope that I don't end up doing more camera lens reviews. I really do want to do more shooting videos in the field, get a videographer to partner with me to do some street photography. From this same fashion shoot, I will have a BTS video. Hopefully we'll put that together at some point. I'd love to put that out there for your enjoyment. But until then, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. You can subscribe if you like. Until then, I will see you later. Ciao.